What's up, everyone? I just made a TikTok, but I feel like it was too long, so I'm gonna make it a YouTube. I'm gonna talk about, I have a great analogy about how to be more conscious, how to not be unconscious and act on your old trauma patterns. And it's a computer analogy, all right? So this will help you to become more conscious in relationships, not be a slave to your patterns of jealousy, or not be a slave to your patterns of procrastination that keep you from doing the things that you value, all right? So think of you being the control center, you being the control center of a computer, all right? And you're born and you are the control center of a computer, but no one ever tells you you are the control center of a computer. You think you are the programming because you only see the world through that programming. When you were young, your surroundings, your parents, your friends, your teachers, the culture, the movies, the fake media has uploaded software to your brain computer, right? And now you see everything through that. They said, you're a white man, you're a Latina woman, you're emotional, you're needy, you have ADHD, you're shy, you're introverted, you're extroverted, whatever. They treat you in that way, and a lot of times because they are identified, they're not the control center, they're identified with their own software, they now raising you based on that software, all right? So you're walking around, think you're the software, and you're increasing that software because the more you react on that software, the more you react on the emotions and thoughts and the belief system that you develop, the more they raise and get bigger and bigger. And then you think reality is that way. People are that way. I'm religious, they're not religious. I'm spiritual, they're religious. I'm this, I'm that, I'm Muslim, I'm Christian. I have ADHD, I'm blah, 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 I have this. And you live through that. Astrology is so important. If they have this sign, then they are weirdo and I cannot deal with them. So you are identified with those programs. And now you're acting through them. Now this is problematic because then you actually not a conscious human being. You actually have a hard time to break those patterns and do the things that you value. Because a lot of the times the things that you value are on the other end of anxiety, thoughts, emotions that now you identify with, which you are reacting on. And that's a problem. And we want to change that, okay? So how do we change that? Now, first off, we got to become aware that we're not the thoughts and the emotions. So we got to aware that we are not the programming. We are the control of the programming, all right? Now, the programming is very aggressive because it's been programmed for such a long time that all the zeros and the ones are very powerful, connected together, and build more and more houses that we want to break apart. Now, how do we break them apart? They can only be built more if we give them more materials, right? If we give them more software, if we give them more engineering, and if we give them like houses, more materials. Now the materials they get basically through focusing, through attention. So the more you give attention and the more you're acting on these feelings and these thoughts, the more building material you give these things. So actually the funny thing is trauma is released through inaction on the trauma, but because the trauma is so persistent, it keeps going up, it keeps growing, it keeps coming with the emotions because it thinks that programming is the only programming that helps you. It thinks it's the only programming that supports you because you, through living, saw, okay, when I'm abandoned, I don't want to be abandoned anymore. And now the program overreacts and writes more and more software how to not be abandoned and finds more and more red flags in other people. So you're not abandoned and you get more and more scared because that's what the programming gives you. The programming gives you more anxiety, more fear, and all of those things. So by keep reacting to it, by trying to make it feel better, maybe by trying to avoid it through going on social media, you're still growing the programming because the programming is very smart and says, hey, they're trying to avoid this, and that must mean that it's still dangerous because they wouldn't avoid it if it wasn't still dangerous. Keep building, right? Now, the way actually to let go of that programming is to accept the programming but not act on it. So accept that the program is still there, it can work, It can do its thing. It can do whatever it wants to do. But you are actually acting differently than the programming. Because when you see as from the control center that the thoughts and the emotions are not you, and it's challenging in the beginning because it's so enticing. It's right, the thoughts are right in front of you. The belief systems that you have are right in front of you, and the emotions are so close, and they are so like you react so strongly to them because they can be painful. So they can come up, but here's the key. We want to just be like, okay, I see it wants me to fix something. It always wants to fix something. It always wants to improve, to build, to fix. If we say, no, I'm not going to fix this. I'll be comfortable being uncomfortable. But now I'm building something I want to build. And you build it without a result. You say, I'm building this relationship right now with actions. We built the new programming with actions. And I'm going to build this relationship with actions. And I'm not reacting to the jealousy. I'm just going to make it based on values. The more you build that way, the more the old programming disappears because you're putting your attention on the new way of doing things. Now, this is going to be comfortable being uncomfortable, but you are the control center, so you can always decide. And your decisions making should be about actions. It should be shifting. This is how you break the whole entire old programming of the thoughts and emotions. Stop reacting to the emotions and the thoughts, to those building mechanisms, and start proactively acting on things that you want to build. Make it about what you want to add, not what you want to fix. Okay? This is really important. Make it about what you want to add, not what you want to fix. So I just wanted to give you guys this analogy, and I'll give you some examples. No matter what fear you have to build your podcast or build your YouTube or build your TikTok or build a business, have the fear. The fear can be accepted, but you just make it about step by step about the actions. And the thoughts might say, oh, you're not good enough, or you're too shy, or this and that. And you say, okay, that's the programming. And that can be there. It can say these things. It can say, I don't fix it. Because if you try to fix it, if you try to do affirmations, oh no, I'm confident and all that, the programming knows you faking it, you scamming. And it will build more insecurity because you're still reacting to it, because it sees you still want to get rid of it. But if you say, okay, I can have the feeling of insecurity and I'll build it anyway, that's when you build the new program, so to say, which is actually in true reality not a programming at all anymore. You're just going to be the control center now because you're not reacting to any programming. So in true reality, it's you're not even reacting to any programming anymore. It's just you perfectly in control, making it about the values, making it about the actions that you want to build. And that's you being aware and conscious. So that's amazing. If you do that and keep practicing that, the more you do that, your brain changes more, all right? If you guys have any questions in the comments, just let me know. I just wanted to give you guys this analogy. So have a good day and start practicing. Make it about the actions, okay?